Hello, everyone. Flo, thanks for the introduction. My name is Michał, and I am the leader of the location intelligence team at Allegro. And today I'll be talking indeed about how we use spatial data and analytics to analyze our network of parcel lockers. But before I get there, a few words about Allegro. So Allegro is in fact the biggest e-commerce platform of European origin. We have over 18 million, so 18 million of customers in total, and 135,000 of merchants. And we are also constantly growing, both organically, but also through M&A. Recently, we have taken over a Czech e-commerce platform called Mall Group and a delivery company called WeDo. And in all, we have over 7,000 employees, so we are getting the scale. Our platform is available for the buyers in the whole EU, and the merchants come mainly from the CEE countries. But hopefully in the coming years, we will be expanding geographically. Allegro decided to invest in its own delivery and logistics services quite recently. We want to make our platform to be as convenient as possible to our clients. And also we want to reduce the delivery times of the goods that we are selling on the platform. And therefore, we need to have a full control over our delivery networks. So delivery experience, it comprises of three main pillars. We have our own fulfillment function called One Fulfillment. We have our own last mile delivery company called One Courier. And all this is supported by the network of parcel lockers called One Boxes. And as you might imagine, getting into the business of delivery services enforced kind of the transition for our firm from pure online into a mix of online and offline channels. And as a result, the number of spatial problems that we have to deal with every day rose greatly. And that actually triggered the decision from the management board to invest in our proprietary in-house location intelligence team that we started building since this January. So it's pretty fresh. Our mission as location intelligence team at Allegro is to, first of all, solve these spatial problems smoothly. But then we want to also introduce the best state-of-the-art geospatial technology to our firm. And we also want to make sure that this technology is available to anyone in the firm who might benefit from using it. So you can say that democratization of geospatial technology is the way how we do business at Allegro. Our main objective for this year, for 2022, is to support the expansion process of the parcel lockers. And you might ask yourself the question why Allegro decided to enter the space of parcel lockers. To give you a little bit of the context, parcel lockers are kind of a phenomenon on the Polish market. There's over 20,000 of these machines in our country. And Allegro itself plans to invest in 3,000 of these machines this year. Majority of the e-commerce traffic goes actually through these machines. It's 60 to 70% depending on the category. And this makes it much more popular than two-door delivery in Poland. Why is it so popular? There are many reasons, but first of all, it's a very convenient way to deliver goods. You can pick up your parcel anytime, 24/7, contactless. It's also sustainable because it has a lower carbon footprint compared to two-door delivery because there is less back and forth between the depot and the address, home address, if somebody is not present at home, for example. And overall, this method is also faster than two-door because as a result, we can promise on our platform, on majority of our offers, the next day delivery and same day delivery for selected locations. And the number of locations with same day delivery will be increasing in time. In the end, this form of delivery is also much cheaper than two-door to the client, so it's always nice to have. What distinguishes our lockers, our machines, is their design. So we have no advertisements on our lockers. What's more, each of them has a wooden frame and plants and flowers growing on them. And this green design allows us to blend into the urban landscape quite well, because we want these machines not only to be convenient and useful for the end user, but we also want them to be a part of a well-designed city infrastructure. On top of the regular services, we also have a set of sustainability-related initiatives. Like, for example, we plant a tree in our private forest for every 10 orders that clients make through our one-box network. But for me as a data guy, the lockers are not only the endpoints for our delivery network, they're also loaded with sensors and IoT devices. And so this way you can say that they are our eyes and ears for the physical world. We measure things such as air quality, temperature, we have multiple cameras installed on them, GPS devices, we measure motion around each of the device to understand what's the foot traffic pattern. And all this is being reported in Grafana live. And some of the data sets are also published to the end users through our e-commerce platform. Like, for example, air quality data. Each of our users can take a look at the quality of the air around their locations. And we publish this data because we want to play an active role in the conversation about sustainability of our cities. But from the business perspective, we also have a lot of ideas how to utilize sensor and IoT data. One project that we are working on currently is building a predictive maintenance model for our network to help our servicing team to schedule technical visits more efficiently and conveniently. Now moving to the spatial data sets, we invest a lot in external data. We use platforms such as Carto data repository. We also use Esri Living Atlas and we have a set of local vendors that provide us with data about demographics, mobility, purchasing power, road conditions, traffic, and so on and so forth. And we have our own ETL pipelines to connect to open sources such as OpenStreetMap, local cadastral data sets, or Eurostat. But the thing that is really the most exciting working at Allegro as a geo person is the proprietary data that we have in-house. This is something that no one else on the market have. And our platform daily generates thousands of geocoded records about volumes of orders by category, by product. So we can easily try to find a correlation between location characteristics and customer behavior and customer preferences. We also monitor things such as preferences for the pickup method, so we can identify the hotspots for two-door delivery or parcel locker delivery. What's more, we have our own mobile app, which is very popular in Poland. But and obviously there's a lot of data coming from it, but we want to be 100% GDPR compliant before we try to analyze this data for commercial reasons. But definitely there's power in this data laying in front of us. This is our technology stack. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Probably you know all these vendors and solutions. The bottom line here is that we are technology agnostic. We are not focusing on particular vendor. We are focusing on the results. And what's more, we are also cloud native. So everything we do is on GCP or Azure. One more thing, we also love to build our own proprietary solutions and microservices. We have a very strong software engineering function, and therefore we like to build our own tools whenever we can. Now moving to the expansion process itself, you can divide it into three main stages. There's strategy definition, execution of this strategy, and then measuring the performance of the whole process. And you can say that spatial tech and data supports all three of these stages. When it comes to strategy definition, we use spatial analytics to test the hypotheses that come in majority from our management board about where and how should we be expanding. And this concerns the global national, let's say national expansion, and also local city level tactics for the rollout, because we want to distinguish our strategy based on local market conditions such as volumes distribution, population density, competition intensity, and things like that. Then we kind of test in location intelligence team. We test the scenarios of different rollout strategies, and we publish the results in the form of a map or an interactive dashboard in Carto, ArcGIS, or Tableau. We discuss with our management board what are the results of the simulations, and then we cascade the outcome in the form of guidelines for our expansion team operating in the field, looking for properties. When it comes to execution of the strategy, we try to be very pragmatic. We have designed our site selection app, which is accessible via mobile and desktop to any expander operating in the field. It's connected to BigQuery. It's also integrated with Salesforce, and it allows the expander to identify the hotspots and white space for the machines, and then he can take a look at this area and look for leads. Once he identifies a lead, he can then use an inbuilt scoring model, location scoring model, to assess the quality of the location, and he can do this per single location, but also for the whole portfolio of locations if he is working on a deal with a retailer or municipality, because this is a very common way to expand the network. We cooperate closely with our data science team, and we maintain a few machine learning models. We predict order volumes per location per month, both for existing locations, but also for the hypothetical ones. And we also predict the seasonal peaks of volumes per machine, because we want to be ready for the high season, especially for Christmas time, when the traffic is huge, and we want to make sure that our machines are able to handle the whole traffic. So in short, you can say that we use machine learning to first choose the good location, but then make sure that the locker that we'll be installing is of appropriate size and capacity. And last but not least, we introduced a set of geospatial data-based KPIs and metrics that we report regularly. We measure things such as population coverage of our network per geography. We report the locker utilization in different areas, and also the competition intensity. We have ETL pipelines to automatically report this data via Carto and Tableau in the form of monthly reports. And once this report is published, we discuss with our management board how we should adjust the strategy for the next period based on these insights. And this way you can say that the whole process closes in a loop where strategy is, where reporting is an input for the strategy. Obviously, this is just the tip of an iceberg of what we are doing at Allegro with Geo. We are also very early on in the process, so hopefully next year we'll be able to tell you some more stories about using Geo at our firm. In the meantime, if you're interested, you can follow us on Twitter or Facebook, and we also have our own technology blog, which is quite often updated. It's not only about Geo, but Allegro Tech generally speaking. I encourage you to check out these resources on your own. And from my end, this is it. Thank you for your attention, and have a great rest of the day.
I think we have time for a couple of questions. I actually wanted to ask you a question about talent in your team. So a lot of our customers tell us that it's very difficult to find data scientists with experience in geospatial. Right. Are you hiring remotely all over the place, or what's your strategy?
Yeah, that's a very, very good one. So actually, it is a problem to get a proper data scientist with also a geospatial technology background. Yeah, so it's a challenge for us to find a good data scientist with also geospatial technology background. So we try to encourage people by offering the remote work kind of modes, and also kind of elastic, way to where they can do the work. So it's a challenge, but we are getting there. We are also cooperating with a couple of universities where we are sourcing talents. So it's a challenge, but we already know where to look for the talent.
And with the universities, is it data science programs you're going to, or GIS programs that you're going to typically?
I think there are both ways. So there are the degrees which are focused on purely geospatial data science, but in Poland they are like limited. So more it's like a general data science faculty, and then with a specialization for geo. And right now we are also opening for international talent because we are expanding globally. So yeah, I encourage you to take a look at our offers at our website.
Awesome. Any questions from the audience? Fantastic. We've got two here in the middle. Thank you, Oshka.
Thanks. That was really interesting. One of the points you mentioned was with the design of the parcel boxes being kind of integrated into the urban environment. And that was really, really interesting. And you specifically mentioned that you're not using them for things like advertising space. Did you do any kind of decision-making before that around a positive impact of not using advertising in terms of you're driving more business by having that design, and you're making, not everything's profit, but you're making profit over the fact that you're driving that against advertising? Or is it more of like just a company branding decision where regardless of costs, that's just how we're going forward?
Yeah, so basically it works both ways, but we did the research for our, in our customer groups, how would they react on different types of design. And basically there's a huge conversation in Poland about urban landscape quality and the pollution of advertisements. So the management decided basically to go into this trend and say that we are not another player who's polluting the space, the urban space, that we are really focusing on blending into the background and offering good services. So it was a conscious decision, and the research we did confirmed that this will have a good impact from the perspective of our end users. Yeah.
Following on from the conversation earlier from Pets at Home, is your network of lockers so dense yet that you have to worry about cannibalization and overlap in their kind of footprints? And also the lockers versus delivery as well. Do you worry about the interplay between those things?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we are trying to expand the coverage, so the cannibalization is not as a imminent problem as coverage. We want to be present in every city we operate in, and we want to increase the brand recognition. That's our first thing. But then when it comes to cannibalization, it's slightly different than when you talk about retail, because we want to focus more on the capacity of the lockers. So it's more about to put enough lockers in one space to digest the traffic that's coming to our platform, rather than to treat different lockers as competitors. We measure more utilization of parcel lockers, so we want to make sure that they are above a certain level of utilization, and this way we manage the expansion process. So that's how it usually works. Yeah.
Okay, we've got one more question in the middle.
If I remember correctly, you mentioned that you're planning to have like 3,000 points, right?
This year, yes.
I wanted to ask, at which point in this journey are you at the moment? And the next question is, after identifying those points, how long actually does it take in reality to really implement them, like to find partnerships, to build them and to start operating?
That's
Thank
a
you.
very, very good one. So right now we have 1,600-ish kind of lockers this year, so we are pretty well on track. And obviously, finding a good location is just the beginning of the whole process, because then you have to make sure that the real estate is there, that we offer enough, good enough conditions for the landlords to lease the land for us. And then there's the whole installment part. There are two types of lockers basically on the market. You have the ones that need to have connection to electricity, and the ones that are solar powered. And right now we are focusing on the ones that need electricity. So it also limits the funnel of options that we have on the market, right? So our technical team then needs to make sure that everything is well connected, and usually we need from 2 weeks up to even a month to make this machine up and running if we select the location and we sign the deal with the landlord. So it's a process, definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much, Michał. It's a really great presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.